Hello everyone and welcome back to turn number 18 of War in the East 2 in our game versus the lovely Nick the Trojan, as we are having a big look on the Eastern Front again in October 1941, and he retreated once more further south here towards Rostov, it seems. Weather is still absolutely horrendous, and it will stay this. Like, now it's really bad. We have the first areas with heavy mud. This is the dark color here. Like, this is light mud, so we don't have anything really without mud anymore. And we also now, only on the coast we have a couple of hexes without it. And then we have some heavy mud around here now. So yeah, aggressive action will be tough. We have light snow here in the north now, and that will stay up there though, sadly. Sadly, the good weather is not coming down. It's down the Ural, but it's not coming down. The cold weather is not coming down south. The first cold will be really good. Once it becomes too much snow, it won't be anymore. But for now, this is good. And this would be good. This is bad. This weather here is really bad. We have a look on what happened last turn. As there wasn't much happening on the front line directly. His casualties were relatively low, and he now shipped a lot of units to the front line. 142,000 Soviets supposedly have arrived extra. 600 new airplanes, 200 new planes, 1,400 guns. So the deficits he has compared to us on frontline units really get smaller and smaller. Especially as we shipped some units back from the front to be replenished last turn. But at least our supplies, the situation got a slight bit better, and so did our understrength number, as a couple of our units got refitted. And the 9th Panzer arrived in the rear and already got up a good bit better in its situation. A couple of units got refitted on the front line as well. The 1 infantry unit up here now is in shape again at 100% readiness actually. So that is great. The 2nd infantry back to 100%. And over here, the 13th Panzer Division is now back to 85%. So that is good as well. They got some good replacements as well. So they should be able to go on a good bit better once the Rasputitsa is over. We will do the same with the 16th Panzer. This turn, move them back here. Or move them, we can refit them actually here now. As we have rail up all the way up here, nearly up to all the way up to Stalino. If we have a look at supply, we didn't have a new supply hub here. Supply rolls were really bad over here, as we're getting resupplied out of Kerch and out of Kherson with some of these units. Instead of being resupplied out of Chaplino. This completely failed, the die rolls for the resupply here, as Chaplino is still damaged, and it seems like that just completely made it void. And Dnepropetrovsk had some bad rolls as well, which is the reason I think why we still have undersupplied units for a good bit here. On the other hand here, these supply lines on the front line now allowed for some better supplying here. Yeah. The units obviously around Kharkov, where we don't have rail yet, still all undersupplied, but these units here do better. These units here do a good bit better as well, though we're still not quite up to a rail, but we will be there soon. Yeah, this is the situation now. Aircraft just not gonna fly this turn. Weather is too bad, so we can execute the air order, because nothing's gonna happen. We moved some air forces up from the rear, but we will see super limited air. The only air that is going on is on the Crimea. And you can see he flies a lot of missions there, actually. Whereas we fly a really limited amount of missions there. Or he might actually just fly bad weather missions, I'm not quite sure. But no, he must fly missions in Crimea. Otherwise his operational losses would be bigger by this weather. That said, our trades there were pretty decent. Let's see how it goes here. We will get some air support potentially. But other than that, we're not gonna get much. Like, especially recon-wise, we are pretty badly executed this turn, so we don't know where he is exactly. So we have to be a bit more careful on the ground. Rasputitsa is really bad in all regards for us. With this division now... Wait, did we not repair all the way up here? Oh, because this is a frontline hex that's fought over. Okay. So if we move you here, we could rail you a good far bit. The big question is if we do that. Or if we continue moving you over here and repair the north first. But I think it's the south needs supply to it really badly, so we gotta move them south. We're gonna move them south instead. I think we move Feldman Division 4 south. Yeah, that's the idea here. North has the supply it needs. And has the rail network it needs. For now. The south really doesn't, so yeah, this going south is important. We're gonna do the other Feldbahn Divisionen as well. You back to moving on foot. Start to repair over here. Yeah, because you had to get out of the rail wagon, you didn't do the best of things here. Our other repair units are Romanians and so on going on over here. Still haven't really done much here. They're working there all time, but yeah, it's only 4 hexes a day. Over here at Stalino, we now can repair. And then the big question is where to go next. I have to figure it out. North. North is the next hex to go to. But we can't go there because we have too many units in that hex. How is are these tank divisions looking? 6 Panthers. Could use some more refitting. So 6 Panther moves back here. And then this rail unit will repair here. And then Gorolevka. Here we have a really interesting rail network. And we can just maybe repair a bit more. Yeah. Against the storm? In this game and against the storm? What do you mean against the storm? But yeah, it's costly. Yeah, Gary Crigsby games are really costly. They always are. The Christmas sales are pretty big. But outside of that, yeah, it's a rather costly game. Nice. Aurel is on the network. We now can build south. Maybe go south to Kharkov here with this one. We could have built to Mariupol. And then we could have railed supplies that ship into Mariupol up north. That could be good in the future. Most of it happens around Christmas. And even then, for this game, it only goes down, it only went down like 15% this year, maybe 20, maybe I think 20. So yeah, they don't do major sales on this game because it's also still relatively new. And Gary Crigsby in general, like the only game that goes on massive sale from Gary Crigsby is. No, I guess One the West was also rather cheap. So no, I guess I'm that's not quite right. But yeah, One the Pacific goes down from 80 to $20 each Christmas. It's like, why do you still sell it for $80 in the boxing? Like everyone who must feel so ripped off if they ever buy One the Pacific for $80. And yeah, you just plug your fresh blood with it because people who see it in the summer can't buy it because $80 is just too much. But yeah. Gary Crigsby is not a marketing kind of guy. Yeah. Also, it's weird that it is more expensive on Matrix than it is on Steam. Just doesn't make sense to me. Okay, so yes, defensive lines over here, which we actually can breach though. Fighting in the mud. But hey. Can we do anything here? Do we want to do anything here? We could potentially pull someone out and replenish. How are you all? Yeah, you're looking rather terribly. Let's pull you out. We can't attack here. Like you can see our attack value here everywhere is 1 because the heavy mud is just completely making it impossible to attack. Here it's slightly better, but even then that's his defense value here is insane now, thanks to the mud as well. Still retreated over there. This Panzer division is looking okay, but will take some replenishment. You got refit. You look pretty good. You're also really well supplied. And yeah, this one got fully replenished. It lost an experience for it, as it obviously got fit out with fresh recruits. Yeah, this one is the other new division that arrived from the rear. This one was the heavily molded up one, right? Yes. You can move here for now. And we can move you back and replenish. Refit. And we put you under Army Group Center. And we put you under XXI Corps. Oh, that's the one up there. Well, it's fine. But yeah, it's muddy. So this is not gonna happening. And we're gonna wait for a bit better weather before we fly missions here. And try to starve out Sevastopol, I guess. Oh, this one. We might have forgotten these. Last turn. And they have a long way ahead of themselves. We didn't get any new units this turn. Like only the 6 Panzer going away was the only thing massively happening. Then one flag battalion, one Weather battalion. Weather battalion going in here. But yeah, this is kind of it. The last few turns, I mean, pretty decently. But now Rasputitsa is hit. But we took all the objectives. Like, we took all the objectives. We took Orel, Kursk, Kharkov, Stalino. Only objective this year that we really still want to take is Rostov. Krasnodar and Maikop were the other goals, but we didn't get there. Like, out of the objectives that we set up from at the beginning, Rzhev, Rostov, Krasnodar, and Maikop are missing. Rzhev, somewhat unlikely this year as well. Potential still there if we get some good winter turns up north. And Rostov should be doable. But the rest, the Maikop, Krasnodar area would be highly risky to strike south of Rostov in the winter. But we should be at a good springboard for southern offensive next year, early next year. And our tank formations are mostly somewhat intact. So we still have potential for a good winter attack. Okay, this is also not looking terribly. Oh no, that we should not have activated air support though. Oh no, that is super costly. Ah, fuck, I clicked away though. Yeah, we should have air support turned off the whole way now. Okay, yeah. Yeah, oh my god. Oh my god. 45 airplanes lost. That was a major mistake. That was a major mistake. Yeah, back to active mode. No, that's not good enough. Okay, we have another unit down here. He's rather strong down here in these axes. We need to keep on the move somewhat. Maybe keep it down to the infantry units. Well, actually, this is a hex we can overcome. Yes. 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 These hexes up here are interesting. How strong are you? 14. An open field hex that we kind of want to pummel. As you can see, movement costs us a lot of movement points. Nice. So we still poke holes here. We still keep his line moving, which is good. He can't dig in here. That's what we want, so that our tanks, once we are here, can hit hard. Once we have good weather here again. Leibstandarte Adolf Hitler. And these guys. Nice. That's a good attack as well. Yeah, we're still preaching his southern line. We're keeping his morale down. But yeah, the 45 plane thing was... Oof. It was a misclick. That shouldn't have happened. But yeah. Over here, I don't quite understand where he retreated to. And if we should do this attack. Feel like we should. Yes. He gives us the Oka for free. Once more, basically. This division here. This division up here. Okay, he hasn't. Oh, he's actually entrenched over here already. Yeah, stay back here. Everybody, stay back here. If we don't do any major attacks. Forgot what his strength was looking like. That's level 3 entrenchment. It's not worth checking. This one should get good soon. Okay, he took Stariosk. No, wait. We never took that. Does he have a unit here? Yes, he does. But it's a super shit unit that we actually push out of there. Okay. That's another rail hex here that is good and important to him gone. With our really low on fuel Slovakians, which now have to move back. But our Slovakians did great. Like, the Slovakians captured a couple thousand square kilometers of area of the Soviet Union here on their own. Yeah, Slovakian mobilized mobile division is really good. You play your turn, then you send it to your opponent via email or like via server. They load their turn, then let's load it back up, and you play your turn. Like, it's basically online chess. What event? I'm not quite sure, Grim. So, but yeah, we're under Rasputitsa. He has given this up. Yeah, and he played his turn in between. Yeah, I already got a turn back. Nick is really a good opponent in that regard. His home office allows him. Oh my god, this is a good attack. Oh, this would be so good. This would be so huge. Oh, we could even potentially encircle something in the rest. No. We don't do that. We don't do that. We wait. Oh, the new event here. The Soviet partisans are happening, and the Kenny incident happened. So the Americans getting cocky here. Depth charging our torpedoes, even though we're not at war with them. I don't know what the Americans have. We only brought war to all of Europe, and they are somehow pissed about it. I don't get why. We are not mingling in their affairs either. Mm. Yeah, the Romanian armored division is not great. It's a really helpful unit in the first couple of months of the war, and it becomes rather helpful in the later part of the war again when it gets some Panzer force. Like in January 1944, it becomes useful again. The 1942 July 1942 version is decent, but this one is the good one, which we know from Steel Division as well. When it gets some Panzer force and some Stuks and some Takams. But before that, it's a long way of pain. Like the Hungarians and the Czechos, the Slovaks are so much better. Like the Slovaks actually have decent tanks here with the L3 and the L38 and the pretty good experience levels as well. And the Hungarians also have good experience levels and actually not that great tanks. They have Toldis, which are not that amazing, and Saldos, which are terrible. But they also have decent infantry and stuff on these motorized divisions. And once it becomes a tank division, it actually becomes also relatively good. There is a unit spawning in Rostock. I forgot which one it is. I always have my eye on Rostock for once. First of all, it's because it's my hometown, but also because there's a division at some point spawning that I know a couple of people missed in their playthroughs, and missing out a whole division is always painful. Yeah, but yeah, we punch some holes in here. Our armored divisions can keep on refitting. Yeah, you need to go here to refit, my man. These two really need their refits. Could consider sending 11th back home as well. Color coding on railway is this here. Logistics toggled on and off. No, we don't rail them home. That would take too long, and they're in a decent-ish enough shape, and we need them soon again. One Panzer division in the rear is currently all we can allow ourselves. Toon side led. I think we are doing fine. We're not gonna lose early. That's what we're going for right now. At least I think we won't. But we're not winning either. Our chance for winning is coming next year. We will see if we can use it. You guys have to move on for now. Put you directly under first Panzer group. Oh no, you're the one that got refitted already. That's stupid. Now I changed you though. Whatever. You move forward again. Yeah, it shows you how close they are to capacity. Like, over here they're running full capacity, and it's not great. Yellow is already good. Bad, and yeah. But orange is really what you want to avoid. And then here it's bottlenecked anyway, so yeah, doesn't go much deeper than that. The hexes afterwards are fine. It's just that bullying Leningrad itself is hard, and there's just no tactical objective. And I was like, I'm not gonna do hit. I follow the oil. I was like, I want to go for oil as soon as possible because oil can allow you a lot of good stuff. Taking Leningrad is great for taking manpower away and stuff. So it's not a bad idea. And if you get here in 1941 and take Leningrad in 1941, you get 3 Finnish divisions in an event. I just learned from Onord. So getting Leningrad actually worthwhile for that. You get some 3 Finnish divisions that spawn on the map with a core. But I didn't saw my chances of actually taking Leningrad high, and I kind of wanted, I kind of wanted to go for south first. And for south first to work, I needed to be able to take some from center to push further south, and for that I needed some of north to take over center's role. So I decided to go for weak strategy north. And there's no victory points between Pskov and Leningrad. So I was like, let's stop at Pskov. That leaves us a lot of room that we don't have to capture and gives us a lot of time elsewhere where we can use it. They have this here, right? They can use transports over the lake from these ports to this port, and then later on they also get railway. The classic when Ladoga is frozen, they can also use it there. You can bombard it. Yeah. You can obviously take Leningrad if you do it well and so on. But I thought going for the oil is better because otherwise you run into oil problems in 1943, and I don't feel like I'm experienced enough to deal with the oil issues. So I thought not having the oil issues is a good idea. And also I did the Leningrad first strategy in my first playthrough, so I wanted to do something else and see how it goes. And also the Leningrad first strategy there didn't quite work out. I only took it in 1942 and some of 1942, so I didn't get the Finnish divisions and all of that. Yeah. And I still took Mykop and Krasnodar at the same time. But yeah, our oil reserve at the moment still decent, but it's continuously tripping, and I really don't want that. Like, yeah, our oil stores are decent and stuff, but yeah, the fuel stores especially are, because our oil production is not good enough. So our fuel production is not good enough, and it's constantly tripping because it's a gentleman I'm playing against. Because otherwise this game just doesn't make any sense. Play if you would do that. Like, you have to trust the gentleman. So potentially could push this turn as well. Wait. Didn't we already do that? Told? These 2 motorized divisions. Not at 16. No. Okay, we can't push it this turn. We could use an armored division. I mean, what is the... It's actually clear. It actually doesn't have mud there. Do we have mud here? We have light mud here, but that's fine. That's not the attack tax. Actually, that's fine then. And up here... we move into... No, we move one up here. One up here. Of these 2 tank of our 2 currently best equipped tank divisions. Although they're core up. You still don't have anything assigned to you though. We really need more support groups. Yeah, we can't get anything in here. We don't have enough support groups going around. Currently, we can take away some from you. You don't need that much support at the moment, guys. could come around checking on you later, but for now we take it away. 6th army. We just have to remind you when you're in Stalingrad to give it back to you. You don't have any support, right? Yes. That's kind of bad. We want you at 1 support. Having some artillery is actually kind of nice. You still will get it late, but... you have your heaviest fighting behind you for now as well. You will still need it eventually, but for now, go to 2 support. So that we have it for our southern offensive. Let's go. Let's go. These are not worth it. Okay. You already getting refit, you getting refit. Okay, all of our tanks could use a refit here, so yeah, you go there as well. Let's see if that works out. It will mean a lot of rail of stuff that needs to get in here as well. So it actually lowers the supply of everything else as well. So yeah. 16th Panzer. I kind of want to rail you back, but that also means, I mean, when we bring you back, we have to rail you up to the front line as well, fully. Rail you back, rail you back. It's better this way. We refit you here on the front line. It's only one's rail. The others were too heavily damaged. They were eating up supply each turn as well, so yeah, it's fine. But we now have the rail up all the way to Stalino, so I hope at least the supply situation in that regard will get better in the next upcoming turns. At least once we have better weather again. That's it. I think it's kind of turn again already. I think it's kind of turn again. Yeah, we can't use this. We can't use this. Yeah. I feel like we might like in next year we will check him here if he really is strong enough to check our balance. Like I think we might have some potential of a stunt attack here if we move first Panzer around from Reserve up north. We're gonna check that next summer. I also put the max TOE of all of these units currently to 90%. And not on this one, but most of the others, so that they don't eat up reinforcements that can go elsewhere. Because I think even on 90, all of these units here now should be good enough. And I did the same with the Panzers over here, so that they don't accidentally get too much resources. Put them up to 90 so that they get a bit more. Could even limit them to 80 maybe, but I think 90 is fine. So we have for sure no tanks wasted that could go to the south. But still having them as a good fighting force up north. But even more pushing the focus down south. Like we already have the supply priority lower for those up north, so they already get less reinforcements that way. And then we also do it this way. Yeah, big question is, do we build up the railway from here to Kharkov now? And then from Orel, like, do we use this double rail and defend it then? Which would mean that we would need to move 1 hex further forward on a lot of places. I mean, here we can do it. Doesn't really change anything. So if it would actually mean 2 hexes forward. And here we can do it as well. This is still a river hex. Yeah. It's a bit risky repairing that, because it would mean that if he comes here again, it gets destroyed. We're crying. We are crying. But so far he will be aggressive eventually. He's not just gonna run all game. Eventually he obviously runs out of space then, if he does that. So we move one forward everywhere here. And we can repair this down from Orel to Kursk, which we already do. We have a bit of supply of lines, and then we could move down to Kharkov as well here. And up from Stalino to Kharkov. And then we could go back this way. And then the fourth, which we move south already from the north, can really repair these real line here. This one currently does the line to Kiev, which is super important as well. And then yeah, these two can repair the rear, and these two can repair around Orel and Kharkov and Kursk. Maybe has to pivot north again if we make any breakthrough here. But at the moment I'm happy with the rail lines I have here, the way they are. This thing also keeps on doing this, and we could get a unit up here to Toropets. That would be good as well. I already built a depot here, so I don't think I forget that later. Doesn't harm us at the moment. And now one thing we can do is have a look on our leaders again, because we finally have the activation points again to actively do that. Okay, you are absolutely fine, leader. Oh no, misclick. Mountain Corps leader, not great. Could be better morale in initiative. Hubler. Infantry leaders. General, Major, General. We have a lot of good infantry leaders. Meindl. Meindl is good. Eugen Meindl. 7 infantry. Somehow has air as well, but not good. And better morale. Better initiative. Better infantry. Where's Meindl? So yeah, Meindl it is. Also, replacing that guy was cheap because he was not high up in the political perspective. Yeah, he is rather bad as well. Our OKH, who is the leader of OKH? OK Adel. OKH is over here, right? No, where's OK? Ah, no, Preslitovsk. OKH. Franz Halder at the moment. Who is amazing at admin. And who's also expensive to replace. We don't have many guys to do it with, anyways. There's not that many have been promoted and stuff. None of them gets to his admin level, which is pretty important. Like, he's bad at initiative, mech and infantry, but his die roll doesn't really matter in that regard anyways. Like, it's like 1 to 100, like a 4 out of 100 chance or so that he affects them positively anyways. Also, like, the die roll system is really well explained in the... I for sure I forgot which priority it is, but like the most important die roll is the one of the core leader, which also has the most chance of impact. Then the army leader is still pretty impactful. Army group leader already really low, and OKH is basically no impact whatsoever on that regard. Peanuts, you can also be replaced. Lothar Vendulik, General Major. Those could go up to army level as well, I think. But, I mean... Walter Weiss. Walter White. He is really good. Walter White has it. Where I think he will counterattack. I think he will counterattack. Like, I feel like the most sensible area would be here, but I don't think so. I think he will counterattack here. He retreats in a weird pattern here. And he has big tank formations around here. He might attempt to counterattack here and here. So I don't think this is clever, and I feel like we are strong enough here, especially as we are having good fortresses by now around this area to hold. But I already set up reserves around here as well. This one is refitting now. Yeah, so I think counterattacks here. As I said, the counterattack here would make the most sense. He hasn't shown any signs of it yet, but that might be exactly what he plans. And then I think he has to counterattack in the south. Like, if he lets us take Rostov unopposed this year, which we will do, and then his January, February counterattack doesn't take it away from us again, when we are weakened the most by the winter, his our springboard out of Rostov into his oil fields in the south will be really good next summer. So, yeah, I think he will be counterattacking here. I think he will be counterattacking around Tula. This potentially might be something where he could pressure us back towards. But I'm like, my original idea was a line between Pishkov and Veliki Luki, so I'm absolutely fine with giving him territory here. Like, Rzhev was never the main plan here. Like, it was Pishkov, Veliki Luki, then over here to Vyazma, and then Vyazma south to Orel. Like, Rzhev potentially, if we can take it, but like the Rzhev Vyazma Orel line would be better, but Vyazma Orel line is still good. We just never took Vyazma. That's a bit disappointing, but we never. It's not a victory point, so yeah. Counterattack here doesn't make much sense. We're too well established now around Kharkov, so the historical counterattack I think was partially here as well, right? Yeah, no, that was 43. Yeah, 43. Here they had counterattacks as well, December 42, 41, but we are not that far forward. And yeah, we will get into Voronezh hopefully next year. That's kind of the objective for this Panzer group. Like, that my goal is to kind of swing these up north next summer, and the Panzers south to strike with the Panzers through the open steppe towards Voronezh. At the moment, the Panzers just need to try to get us the river line that we want for the next summer and the spring and winter. Just in winter, that when the rivers are frozen over, they're not as important. But our the Oka line, the Oka, what's this? The Oka Ugra line is gonna be important throughout the game. Yeah, by now we have slowed down a bit, but I mean we are in territory which was only captured in 42 here. This is all December 41, so yeah, Stalino fall early. It's supposedly only fall in October, but now we're down to realistic numbers down here. Same down here, I think. Yes. Well, October 41. Then they took it back in May 42. Because we'll see if we will see a counterattack of his here. I don't think so. 41. Yeah, by now we have slowed down, but we have captured all of our objectives outside of Rostov, which would be November 41. And then we don't want to lose it like the Germans did in real life, where they then got pushed back here and had to jump into Rostov first again. And for this, and only got there in July. Like, that's not what we want to have happen to us. We want the open line into the Caucasus. That's really the major play we did go for here with everything we set up so far, whilst trying to not put too much stretch of our supply line. Yeah, this is it, guys. We moved the units up. We have that one headquarter here that we still have around. Where is it? Oh, it's not. It's north. It's north. This one? Yes, this one is the core. That one still needs to move on. And then it is it. Did you finally? Yes, you finally repaired that final hex here. Okay, our repair units here doing a good job as well. It's good to see. Repair unit comes down. And here we end it. And this is also for sure the last turn of the day, as we have the big 1-0 tournament tomorrow. We might play one before that, but I don't know if we will do. So, with that said, see you tomorrow. Let's rate someone. Let's rate someone. Randolski is still streaming. Is he? Yes. Let's rate the Randolski. And see you next time. Bye bye. Have a great day.